Yo, J-Man.
Yo.
I got smart on my phone.
Alright, that's the bet.
What's the word, buddy?
What's that word?
Yo, face! Yo, your face, please! With sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, everybody thought Memo600 was crazy when he hinted not too long ago that FYB, J-Man, and Lil Durk may be having a sit down and doing an interview with each other. This is when he faced backlash because he himself did an interview with J-Man after being on the opposite sides of each other, and whether they indirectly dissed each other or not, they dissed each other's dead homies at some point in time. So when Memo sat down with J-Man to do an interview in reference to pushing peace, some people agreed with him and some people didn't. However, Memo600 will let the world know that he's his own man, he makes his own decisions, and he's not following behind nobody that thinks you're supposed to be old and still dissing. In the midst of that, he also slipped in that J-Man may have an interview coming with Lil Durk as well, as he would take to his Instagram story to say, quote, "Y'all so fanned out. Wait till y'all see Smirk with him. What y'all gonna say then?" Nobody knew whether Memo was trolling, being hypothetical, or just trying to tell us something. But as of yesterday, it's been confirmed that Memo wasn't in fact trolling, because FYB J-Man dropped an audio of a conversation between him and Lil Durk. In the caption of the post, J-Man will say, quote, "This how we whooping. It hit different. Save the kids. At Lil Durk, I'm behind you 100%. Long live all the fallen soldiers." Now after that drop, Memo will follow up and respond to the audio via IG story, as he will repost the post and caption it saying, quote, "We the faces of our city and we gonna make it better." Now all y'all that was talking crazy, let me see y'all say the same. I would tag y'all following Ad, but I'm tired of turning up old goofies. Y'all too grown to be moving how y'all moving, following Ad old heads. We lead, not follow. I knew y'all would show y'all hand, be yourself. Now in the next slide, he would say, quote, "I always been a leader, never followed. That's why I'm different. Half my peers, yes man, on Steve." Now Memo does have an interesting point, because when he sat down with J-Man, he received a bunch of backlash where people disagreed with him for doing so. He even had one of his own 600 affiliates by the name of Famous 600 ridicule him for it, as he would take to his IG story to repost the post of them two and say, quote, "Two D-heads ain't never did ish to nobody. Look at my little brother face. He know he wrong." Laughing emoji. And he got the whoops. So now that Durk did it, where's all the same people that gave Memo backlash for doing the same thing? Is it a difference? Or is people just not going to have the same energy for Durk, being that it's Durk? Right? Now I'm not going to post a full audio because it's about 11 minutes long, but if you want to listen to the full audio, I left a link pinned in the comments for you guys to check it out on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Now of course, with anything, you're always going to have people who disagree and agree with the decision by the two. Some people feel it may be a backdoor situation, some people feel it's big for Chicago, and others feel that they shouldn't be sitting down or conversing because too much has been invested in this ongoing BD and GD war that's been terrorizing Chicago. However, some public figures of Chicago, such as Bo Dill, J.H.E. Ruger, Mama Duck, and more, have agreed with this move for the city and will comment underneath the post to show their support for it. Now Mama Duck will say, quote, "A lot of people not gonna want to see it happen, but what God unite, no man can take under. Hashtag it's overdue. My boy died behind this ish, and I'm tired of losing our kids to death in jail." J.H.E. Ruger will also reply, and he will say, quote, "Handshake emoji. Now this is what we trying to do. They gonna see though, 100 emoji." Bo Deal will also reply, but he would just put 300 emojis as he showed his support. Now, like anything, you're always going to have the negative. Now, a user by the name of Team Big Clout will respond and say, quote, he talked to him like a boss. Another user would say, quote, Durk trolling, laughing emoji. Another user will put 3 door emojis which symbolize backdooring, and a lot of times I feel that's what stops guys from coming together. Yes, we would like to do peace and push it or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, if I can't trust you enough to be around you, it's just not gonna happen. And respectfully, because these are the same guys that, towards death threats towards each other, said what they're gonna do to each other if they ever seen each other, so you don't know who to trust. But that type of mentality is gonna keep people divided forever. But like I said, you can't tell a person to trust or not trust somebody who they was once into it with. So it just is what it is. However, let's talk about it. Now, before we do, y'all jump in the comments and let us know, what do you think about Lil Durk and FYB J-Mane linking up to sit down and promote Pushing Peace? Do you agree with it or disagree with it? Y'all let us know in the comments below. Now, there's a few things I'd like to speak in regards to it, and before anything, I would like to say I actually agree with it. Anything that's going to promote the guys or kids coming up to put the weapons down and actually try to become successful and take care of their families, I'm all for it. This is what we've been preaching before it became popular to do so. Now, when it comes to Lil Durk and FYB J-Mane pushing peace, I just hope that it's a real thing and not just being used as a marketing tactic or diversion. Now, I say that because it is pretty ironic that one of the biggest events in Chicago, which happened to be Chief Keef coming back to perform, was kind of overshadowed by the audio between Durk and FYB J-Mane. Now, was it purposely orchestrated that way? Who knows? But it was a bit of a coincidence. Now, other than that, I actually wonder who made it happen, right? Who's responsible for the two linking up? Because this is actually a big deal if it's being done for the right, genuine reasons. I'm not talking about pushing peace because it's beneficial or because there's a project you have coming out, because it'll only be pushing peace temporarily, and then down the line is back to dissing and trolling the ops. We've seen plenty of times in the past where guys say they want to push peace and or stop dissing the ops, but their actions showed otherwise. They may stop for a moment, then once things dry up, they're back to dissing. One thing about pushing peace is you have to be in it 100%, not just when you feel like it. And all this conversation did was show us that it's really not hard for some of these guys to actually come together. I personally think a lot of them actually want to come together, but the biggest thing that stops them from coming together is pride and ego, and also what other people may think. Once you throw those 2 or 3 things out the window, then guys can actually come together, and like I always say, they don't have to be the biggest or bestest of friends, but as long as they can stop dissing each other and influencing the younger guys coming up to stop drilling and dissing each other, then that's the goal. Now, let's point out that Durk actually said something interesting as well. Throughout the audio, he kept mentioning that anybody that's not with what he's doing in pushing peace, he's getting them out the way.
I mean, I say it one more time, bro.
I'm keeping it out the way where it's like, that's what we got going on for these kids, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, real talk. I get.
Now, in a way, I kind of felt like that was a subliminal to a few people around him, but I wouldn't mention who. But I also think that's smart of him because we've mentioned in the past plenty times where you can't say you're pushing peace, but then the people that surround you is still dissing. And I think either he may have heard us mention that or whoever, but he made it his business to say that he don't need those type of people around him because he's not on that type of time and it's not conducive to what he's trying to do. So maybe he is serious about it, maybe not, maybe it's just a marketing tactic, marketing scheme, who knows. But if he goes as far as getting rid of people around him that's not on the same page, that's a step in the right direction. Now, when it comes to the interview, the reason I keep mentioning it being genuine or not is because yes, he contacted FYB J-Mane and they spoke, but when you listen to the interview, it's almost as if it's a press run, or maybe Durk is trying to start up a Chicago media-based group where he got all the Chicago bloggers under him, and I don't know. And I say that because he also mentioned that he spoke with DJ UTV as well, but then he also said that he wants to get J-Mane, DJ UTV, and others in one room together, and I don't know. So this is why I'm on the fence about whether it's genuine, about pushing peace, or is it a business opportunity? I guess only time will tell. Interesting enough, he did mention Adam 22 and stated that Adam is, quote, in the way.
You got niggas like Adam and them in the
Let's just start there. Like that.
And I'm assuming he's saying that because he feels how the rest of us feel. When it comes to Adam and his agenda with his interviews, Adam have been called out on a couple of occasions for keep fueling Chicago beefs and trolling certain guests as they come to his show. Plenty feel that Adam is taking the drama lightly, and he's doing that, but real situations are taking place due to what he is doing. So once again, he stated that Adam 22 is in the way, and I guess whatever opportunity he has in mind with J-Mane, he plans on getting Adam out the way. Now, Durk said some more interesting comments that I don't even think he realized, and maybe he said a little too much. For y'all that know what I'm referring to, then you know. Because Durk stated that he was tied in with the mayor and the governor. Let me say that again. He said he's tied in with the mayor and governor of Chicago. Now, I'll leave that at that. Now, that's pretty much it, y'all. Once again, if this happens, I think it'll be a good look for Chicago. Also, shout out to Tay Savage. Tay Savage don't get enough credit, but I always said that Tay Savage made that first move. Not too many people give Tay Savage his credit, but I feel like he took that big leap and made it cool for the guys to actually want to link up with J-Mane or the ops, period. He put all the pride and BS aside and didn't care what people thought and made it cool for guys to even consider linking up with J-Mane or their ops. I feel after him, that's when guys started to lighten up and made it okay to push peace. So, like anybody could push peace, but only a certain few will have an impact when they actually do it. You know, certain people that's actually heavy in the culture, rather than somebody that's not really of the culture or hasn't really been through anything. This is why with Durk saying that he wants to push peace and sit down with FYB J-Mane, it's a big deal because he is one of the, if not the biggest artist in Chicago right now. Now, on the flip side of that, we can't just expect everyone to want to push peace because Durk or others want to push peace. Like I said before, some people are going to agree and some aren't. This is years of destruction that's going to take just as long to fix it if guys are really on the same page. Just think about it. When Durk tried to push peace, he went on deaf ears. And if people would have been came together when he tried to do it, a lot more lives would have been saved and a lot more people would be here today. But it takes time, right? It's not going to be perfect, but at least guys are putting in the effort to do so. So let's see what comes out of it, man. Let's see if it's temporary or if it's going to actually happen. So y'all jump in the comments and let us know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.